What's up, dudes and dudettes? Mostly dudes, I'm sure. Spaz here. Welcome to my channel. Needed to do a vlog, keep you guys updated with what I'm doing. And then I'm also going to incorporate a quick QA at the end of all these videos. So if you have any questions for me, no questions are off limits. I'm going to be picking which questions to answer, so keep that in mind. But I will be picking questions from each video and then answering them in future installments of vlogs. If you have anything that you are curious about me, anything that you want to know about me, I will pick some to answer in that. If you want my opinion on a subject, like I said, no subjects are off limits. Let me know. I'll answer some of those as well. But to give you guys an update as to what I'm doing. Right now, I'm kind of in an interesting place. I mean, I feel like I'm getting closer to the point of being able to record daily. Not necessarily daily. I don't want it to be something that I do every single day or feel like I have to do every single day like I did at one point. But I'm getting closer to the point of finding more motivation to record stuff a little bit more frequently. But I'm trying to balance that right now with what I'm trying to do behind the scenes here with YouTube. I'm still trying to resolve some copyright claims, and I'm still waiting on some response from Steam in terms of a Watch Dogs refund. I just have a lot that is distracting me right now, and I'm trying to, rather than ignore some of it or let this stuff affect what I'm trying to do elsewhere, I just want this stuff to go away and be resolved so that I can really focus on doing what it is that I want to do. In particular, the copyright claims are so annoying, and I'm learning just how to be patient. And then through all of this, guys, I mean, one thing that I'm trying to remind myself when I deal with these or anything in general that frustrates me or gets me, kind of, anxious or down, whatever it is, if it comes to finances, if it comes to stress over this, stress over that, one thing I'm trying to remind myself, and thank God I have good friends in my life that point out when I am not doing what it is that I should be doing. But when you go through these things, you have two options. You can either act or react. Any life choice that is thrown at you, any problem that presents itself, you have two choices, act or react. Unfortunately, I have a tendency to react, right? Something frustrates me, annoys me, I react. I let my anger come out, I show my frustration, rather than being an adult or somebody with a solid head on his shoulders, standing back, just laughing at how silly it is and acting the way I want to. See, I need to stop reacting to some of this stuff and getting frustrated, getting pissed off, getting down, and just start acting the way I want to and ignore all this stuff. Not necessarily ignore it like, oh, I'm just going to leave it for somebody else to figure out. No, but just not let it affect me, because these copyright claims in particular, they're a pain in the ass. And I need to contact YouTube today because I have two claims on my account right now. One is a legit third-party claim that's the first of its kind for me to be dealing with it, because I am disputing with an actual party on the other end through YouTube. YouTube acts as an arbitrator of sorts. But it's a pain in the ass, and I want to contact YouTube because there's one claim on my account that if you Google who's making the claim, it's all over Google supports forums that this is a frivolous third party. What this party is doing is essentially not, I don't want to say bullying. I think they're trying to take advantage of the fact that some YouTubers don't know what's going on, and when they post certain stuff, they might click accept. So this third party goes around and makes frivolous claims on other people's content, saying that that YouTube user doesn't have the right to monetize that or even feature that, but because it's ours. So if the YouTuber clicks acknowledge, then that third party has a potential of accruing some revenue off of something that wasn't even theirs. That's what one of my claims is on my account. And now I'm dealing with this other one that the dispute, I'm still waiting for this other party to dispute my proof that I have the proper rights on one of my recent videos. I have to wait till the 27th of June for them to respond, or that's how long it can take them to respond. And in the meantime, I'm stuck here. I don't make money on that video. I don't do any, the video just gets watched, but it just sits there. So I need to contact YouTube and say, I understand what you guys are trying to say here. I understand you're trying to prevent illegitimate people from posting stuff they don't have rights to, but there also needs to be some sort of process on your end when taking in disputes to siphon out this stuff and or resolve it in a expedient fashion. Because waiting 30 to 60 days for a third party that has obviously no business making a claim, because I have emails from the author of the content in question saying go ahead and do it. Stuff like that should not take 30 to 60 days to resolve. It's almost to the point now too, like I said, I do have the option to act or react. I think down the road, if this channel picks up and I start to possibly make a little bit more money here, or if I go and I start doing some other stuff for a little bit more capital, it's going to be something that I guarantee you I'll eventually contact a local copyright attorney to have them start drafting some stuff that I'm not dealing with this. I'm not dealing with this. Here is my standard response. If you want to go down these roads, I have attorneys that can deal with this stuff, and I will pay them, and then I will backcharge some of these frivolous third parties for any fees accrued by my attorneys. That's the type of stuff that's going to happen, or else the bullying and this just nonsensical, lackadaisical way of handling these claims, it's going to continue. It's unfortunate, right? Because you're being attacked literally by attorneys, and you have to suit up with your own. That's how this world works. Look at how governments are run. It's all attorneys, competing attorneys. I mean, eventually down the road, if I continue up with this thing, it's something I'm going to have to do. I'm going to have to find somebody and consult somebody. And I know, everybody's like, oh, you can network with somebody or be partnered and they'll handle all this stuff. To a certain extent. Not all networks. If you are starting a YouTube channel, don't get suckered in right away to partner with anybody. A lot of networks say that they will handle these disputes with you, but they don't tell you that little disclaimer, they are not liable if you in fact infringe upon somebody's copyright. They're going to try to argue. A lot of times they will be able to siphon out the BS claims, yes, but is it worth 40% of my revenue? The U.S. government already takes up to 30%. Should I surrender another 40% to a company that is going to fight some of these claims? I think not. I'll develop a personal relationship with a local attorney that's going to deal with all this stuff down the road. But for right now, I just have to deal with it. And I have to learn to be patient. I have to learn to accept stuff. And, one thing I wanted to point out, my roommate, he said, you have to pick your battles. And I totally agree with that to a certain extent, And I understand what he's trying to say with that. And I've been told that throughout my life, because I do have a tendency to argue or question authority with boldness. But the whole concept of picking battles, I don't like that concept, because you sell yourself out a little bit by saying, well, that one I can't win that fight, so I'm not even going to bother. I'm going to go ahead and try to win this one because I can win it. All the while you're just giving up tons and tons of minor, losses, and you're losing part of yourself. You're losing your dignity by not standing up for yourself, So, I mean, at least I'm going to make an attempt or effort to dispute all this stuff and not let anybody make claims on what isn't theirs. And because I haven't tried to make a claim on something that isn't mine. That's the pisser of it. I'm not trying to screw anybody. The same thing with my refund request for Watch Dogs. I'm not trying to screw anybody. I don't know why I always get responded with, or people respond from some of these places of I'm not trying to screw them. In fact, I haven't returned a game once in my 15 plus years of gaming. I've never attempted to return a game. Just like with this whole YouTube thing, it's all new to me. I'm not trying to run around and claim or monetize stuff I don't have rights to. If I feature a song that is going to be in question, I have contacted the author in advance, but what do? You just go through it. It's frustrating. But I am getting closer to recording more frequently. Just want to throw that out there. This weekend I played a ton of War Thunder, Napoleon Total War, and Company of Heroes 2. I'm looking forward to the Company of Heroes 2 expansion that's coming out later this month. There is another game coming out soon. I don't know what to expect of it. It's called Enemy. I think it's called Enemy Front, or Enemy Front. It looks like an older World War II first-person shooter. I believe it's coming out on older consoles. It's not necessarily a next-gen game, but it just looks like something like a classic shooter that might be fun to tinker around with. I'm not expecting the world of it. It's a cheaper game, even though it's being released soon. But yeah, that's it with me. I want to get back to doing this stuff more frequently, and then let's just go ahead and knock out a few QA questions. First question comes from Ollie. I believe that is how you pronounce his name. Does your mom hate your beard? She in fact does hate my beard. Well, let me rephrase that. My mom hates it when my beard gets out of control. I think anything past this, even this, she might give me some grief about. She wants it to be maintained. She wants me to be a little bit more clean cut. She always tells me, especially when my beard gets really big, she's always like, "You're a good-looking guy. Don't ruin it with that stuff. Show your dimples. You know, women don't find that attractive." I think she's just looking out for, you know, she'll love me even if I have a beard. She probably just has a preference that I don't have a beard. And then dating women's kind of weird with the beard. I haven't really dated too much as of late, and it's very difficult to meet something that isn't an inanimate object that's more concerned about frivolous crap than real stuff. But when I have attempted to date, it's funny to watch the reactions of women. They're either okay with it, because I don't really think a lot of them are into it. Maybe a few. They're either okay with it or they're not okay with it, and they make that abundantly clear from the start by facial expressions. They'll usually look at you like, "Who is this pedophile? Who is this weird-looking dude?" Or they don't give you as much time of the day as they would otherwise, because I went through my stint of hitting on women, trying to pick up on chicks, get phone numbers and stuff, and I can definitely tell a difference between having a beard and not having a beard. There are different groups that you can approach, and some groups you don't even bother approaching with a beard. You're definitely not gonna I mean, you could, sure, but it's a lot of effort, guys, and you know what, I'm lazy when it comes to that type of stuff. And I don't like bullshitting anybody, so I'm not going to attempt to talk or persuade some chick that might otherwise think a beard is disgusting into liking it. Not my thing. All right, anyways, before I ramble about that, another question one thing. Let's update this to see if there's a new one, because there is one more that I would like to answer here. Yeah, that's actually a good question, because... So, Anakin... I believe he's been following me for quite some time. That name looks very familiar. I know he's one of my earlier followers. What do your parents think about you running a YouTube channel instead of getting an actual job? Not saying that YouTube is bad, though. Interesting question. You know, my parents, here's the thing. It's a generational difference, right? I think they understand what it is that I'm trying to do, and I think that they have the faith in that I can do it. But it's a generational gap. They don't quite understand. I'm not saying that they don't, but it's hard for them to understand what it is that's going on. I'm not saying that they don't understand. I think my mom has a pretty good idea as to what's going on. My dad, this is of no, you know, YouTube in general. He doesn't YouTube. He doesn't watch any of that stuff, doesn't participate in social media. So explaining sometimes what it is that is going on, there's a little bit of a disconnect, but I think, you know, my parents, in all honesty, that's a tough question. I mean, they don't want me to get a job just for the sake of having a job, or get an actual job, if you were to call it that. They want to see me succeed in whatever it is that I want to do, and they want to see me be happy. So if it is doing this and I'm able to make a living doing it, then they're happy. They're not going to be upset that I'm doing this rather than working a 9 to 5. As long as I'm, you know, improving myself and becoming better as a person, as an individual, as an adult, I don't think they necessarily mind me doing YouTube. In fact, my mom encourages me from time to time. So does my dad. So, I mean, I don't think, you know, it's not like the classic, well, I'm upset because my son's doing this when he should be doing that. It's nothing like that. I think the only time that I've ever had any sense that they were not necessarily, not even questioning what I'm doing, it's out of a place of concern. It is not out of a place of judgment, not, you know, he's doing this when he should be doing that. It's, hey, are you doing okay doing this? Or how is that going? Is this something that is long term? You know, things like that. They're asking out of concern for my well-being, not out of a selfish place of, this is what I think my son should be doing. So I think in that regard, my mom and dad are great parents. Anyways, yeah, guys, that's it for the questions. I don't want to answer too many of them. We'll run out of stuff to talk about. If you have any questions for future vlogs and or video blogs, for those of us that can speak, post them in the comments, and I will answer them in future installments. I guess the main point of this thread that I wanted to convey, two things. One, you can either act or react when something presents itself. Two, I am getting better, and I am getting closer to recording stuff daily. Let me know if any of those games that I mentioned in terms of what I've been playing this weekend, Company Heroes 2, Napoleon Total War, or War Thunder. I mean, let me know if you guys find any of that gameplay interesting. I know some of it can be dry at times. I'm not the best at those games, but they are things that I play from time to time to take a break from your standard first-person shooter. So let me know. I mean, I am of the opinion to just record some of it and put it up there. If you guys like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. It just happens. So let me know. All right, guys, I'm done rambling. I hope everybody has a great week. Happy Monday. Kielka.